All right. Hydra Tribal. So we've got Gargos here, the Vicious Watcher. Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less. So this gives us free roll, cheaper Hydras and Krasis. So we get just 4 extra counters on these for free when we have this out. And then it's also an 8/7 with Vigilance. And then its bottom line of text, we're not leveraging. So we're basically just big fatty for 6 mana off of our ramp creatures. We can play this as early as turn 3 to 4 sometimes. And then we also have Voracious Hydra and Hydroid Krasis, other payoffs to go alongside this, and to just be big mana payoffs as well. We've got Nissa, who also helps accelerate us into other big Hydras, as well as beat people down. So hopefully we'll turn 3 Nissa people a little bit. We've got a little bit of a white splash for both Deputy of Detention and both Deputy of Detention and some sideboard cards. So let's dive on in and see how this goes. It's not the same, Bob. It's not 20th. It's top 1% of the tournament. You can't just compare it place finish to place finish. Twentieth out of 500 is different than 20th out of 2,000 plus. Always look at the proportions. So do I just have this kill this now? I think so. We'd love to draw a we'd love to draw a Nissa next turn so we can curve Nissa into Watcher.
I will defend the weak at every opportunity.
Listen, I had a long weekend. I didn't get to sleep a lot last night, so I'm just, like, not taking any lippiness from people who want to be annoying and, like, push their glasses up and actual me this morning. So just fair warning. We just put a Gargos, the Vicious Watcher. Wildozer, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh, they forgot to give it lifelink. That's awkward. Alright, so I can play this out for X is 8. Oh. Oh, that was actually a mistake, right? Gosh, Othakaya is good. That... I guess that attack means I'm dead to a removal, I'm dead to a removal spell here. I'm dead to a life gain. Because this is a removal spell. Oh wait, this lets them gain life already, right? Yeah, that attack means I'm dead. I'm dead on board. Find it.
I am proud.
That also kills me. Sure. Any activation in any direction. All right. All right. We found the line. The line was hope they don't know what their cards do. So far we're getting there. So again, to point out what my opponent should have done, if they would have used this to exile this would have killed me. All right, fair warning. I've timed out 2 subs now. If you try and tell me what a card does without knowing what the text of that card is, I'm gonna time you out. We've removed all the chill from today's stream. Don't be aggressively wrong while telling me I made a mistake, please and thank you. Nah, I think the field deck is great. Wouldn't change a card. All right. Look at that, a little bit of someone mixed a little bit of justice into our stream chat. Our opponent missed lethal and we won. That's weird. I'm not used to there being justice on this stream. Yeah, Memorial to Folly was a good addition. I'm happy with the list that I landed on. With the list that I landed on for the MCQ, and I'd run it back card for card. We only saw Aerialist as a black creature, so I don't think I want to include this until I see some more. We're definitely going to board in the Baffling Ends. What do I want to cut here? Some number of Nissa is probably fine. Maybe trim a Mana Dork as well. Actually, I'm going to trim a Risen Reef because I don't have that many elementals in this deck. I think I'd rather keep the Ramp than the Risen Reef. Dude Light with the big tip. Thank you for the absurd support. I was going to save this until I had another great deck, but you looked like you could use a pick-me-up this morning. It's my last big donation for a while. Found out my wife is pregnant after almost a year of trying and gonna start saving. Cheers. Congratulations, dude. Kids are fun. Jake rode the bus to kindergarten this morning. He had his first day of kindergarten on Friday, and Christy drove him. And then today he took the bus, so... It's fun watching him grow up. I think I want a Druid here as opposed to Baffling Ending. The Druid here lets me Baffle plus Druid next turn. I am going to snap off this trade. I think this is a matchup that as the games go long, they tend to favor us, so I just want to take as many aggressive trades as possible. Actually, you know what? That trade there might have just been offered. I bet they have 4 mana Sorin, because 4 mana Sorin brings it back. Another Angel, sure. Another Baffling End. Their deck randomly gains life, so I'm just gonna Baffling End this proactively and like not get got by it by mistake. Yeah, this is an easy trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can play 6/6 next turn. My wife cried on our son's first day more than she expected. Yeah. Well, ours have been going to daycare for a little bit, which is like school adjacent. They have a preschool program at the daycare. So it wasn't fully his first like traditional school day, or I guess whatever you want to call it. Public school, first day at the public school. Which I had mentioned this a couple weeks ago when we made the change initially, but him starting at kindergarten is part of the reason why my schedule changed. I have to be outside to pick him up by like 2:45. That was an absurd draw because we have all these Leafkin Druids. I have to be outside to pick him up off the bus by about 2:45, so I need to be done by like 2:15 or so. The amazing, the magnificent, can-tripping Leafkin Druids! Yeah, right, Timo? So because Jake started kindergarten, I had to adjust my schedule, but I also basically got a $12,000 per year raise because we're no longer paying $12,000 a year for him to go to daycare. I should probably be attacking with this Krasis. Let's get aggressive. Yeah, that's true, Panza. Our deck has a little bit more payoffs in it than the last one. As opposed to like just Cavalier and then like not enough Nexus. Hitting them there before they Bolas the Citadel is potentially very good because they can cast a lot of stuff here. Having your kid move out of daycare is like getting a second job. Yeah, basically. I did, for those that live in countries, maybe even in the United States, you don't know how expensive it is. But, yeah, I said $12,000 per year. It is a 1,000 USD per month to put my kids in daycare. So this is 20 mana, so X is 18 here. Whee! Oh no, I didn't want to tap the 3/3. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then to give you some more context on that number, I live in a city that's surrounded by farms, so the cost of daycare here is less than it is in some of the busier cities and places in the United States. Yeah. which is, full disclosure, I've given her a campaign contribution, but one of Elizabeth Warren's many plans is to take some of that wealth tax money and other things that she wants to tax the people at the very tippy top of the economy and invest that back in to early childhood education so the cost of daycare in the United States isn't as absurd as it is. Because I'm very fortunate in a lot of ways that we're able to afford that, right? Like, a lot of people can't, and it keeps people who have good skill sets out of the workforce. Giving people who have lower incomes the ability to have reasonable cost childcare so they can work and still better themselves in society allows people to pull themselves up out of poverty. Or single parents. Yep, I have no idea how single parents do it. It's not even just the dollar amount, but just the absurd amount of work. Okay, Google, what do farms look like? I don't know how they can justify what they charge. So, daycare isn't expensive in the United States because people who run the daycares are making lots of money. Is another part of it too. Like, that cost isn't because the people running these daycares are getting wealthy. Will do, Dude Light. 10 out of 10. I will find my favorite this evening. Get that slotted in.
I will protect the virtue of this world.
Why is the cost so high? The cost is high because the United States is living in a society where where the income of what people make for the jobs that they're doing has not risen proportionally with inflation in the United States. Because we live in a country where the top 1% has gained $21 trillion worth of wealth in the past however many years, while the bottom percent of the country has lost almost $1 trillion in wealth in that same time period. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I want to attack with my 3/3s this turn just to apply pressure. So I'm going to play this out as an excess 5 and then double it. And then even if they start pumping out Zomboys and Girls next turn, we do have Deputy of Detention, which is nice. Oh yeah, I guess if I attack first, I get one bigger, right? Yeah, if I attack first, I get one bigger, because I could use this. Yep. All right, so we do this and exile all of these. And then we plus Nissa here.
The land fight
Oh, I technically left an extra mana floating there. I didn't need to, right? They go block, block, and then they die. Smells pretty dead. I guess they could have a removal spell here. This tramples though, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm one short, really? Gross. Did I miss lethal? If I had 1 mana floating pre-combat, if I would have used this, and that 1 to fight that for 1, I would have trampled over for lethal, right? Yeah, if I would have fought it for 1, I'd have killed them there. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can play this as an 8/8. Which I think I want to do. 8, 9, whatever. Whatever. It has 8 power with trample. Yeah, the non-lethal fight to trample for lethal damage would have been hot there. All right, looks like the Auric Field deck we've been playing a bunch of. Disdainful Stroke is very good here. I think that's all I'm bringing in is Disdainful Stroke. What are we trimming? I'm sure I'll land on the draw, right? I've got 6. This is 9, 15, 17. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the fighty Hydra, the fighty / double Hydra is very good. Now, post-board, things do get a little bit more challenging because my opponent is going to get a bunch of copies of Noxious Grasp. So that is something to think about. That seems fine. Yeah, there's been a variety of Bant ramp decks that have been running around for the last couple seasons now. This is just another iteration of those style of decks. I would expect our deck is a little bit behind in this matchup on average. Fast Nissa is definitely one of our better tools, but I think the Yarok field deck tends to be very reasonable against decks like what we're playing a lot of the time. We let on Paradise Druid here over Leafkin because Leafkin will trigger the Risen Reef nicely. I don't think they're going to take this trade, so we're going to offer it. Get our 2 free points of damage in. Alright, that's a Nissa. We're 1 short of casting it this turn, though, right? Which is unfortunate. We'll probably want to Krasis after Nissa. Because Nissa's gonna pump up a bunch of our lands here. I assume we're losing Krasis since it draws us a bunch of cards. Depending on the context of their hand, they might... Oh, interesting. Four, 5, 6, 7. This is 8. We'll play this for 6. Nissa who wins the game. She does often feel like that, doesn't she? Would not be surprised to see this eat a trophy or a Noxious Grasp here. Cast down, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, from the current cards that we have, Growth Spiral is probably what slots into the Rejuvenator slot. But hopefully we'll get some kind of ramp spell in the fall. This Deputy of Detention, or the Disdainful Stroke here, is actually a pretty good one to have access to. Deputy of Detention, not a bad longer-term insurance plan against what they have going on either. So we're just looking for payoffs at this point. We get to stop their next 2 big payoffs, though, which is great. I think Disdainful Stroke is an excellent card in this format right now. Do both Alendra sets release the same? Alendra's a single set. I'm not sure what you mean by both sets. Are we in Alendra for 2 sets? I thought we were in Alendra for only 1 set. Anybody new? It is just 1, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, so one of the things Wizard of the Coast has moved away from is that there aren't like 2 or 3 set blocks anymore. They've given themselves the freedom to kind of do whatever they feel like. I thought there was a quote from a WotC person talking about how it was only going to be 1 set for Alendra. I wonder if we'll see them crank this to 6. I don't really want to trade my druid for a zombie, so I'm going to wait till they make some more zombies. So we, like, kinda got a 2-for-1 there. It makes their future Yarok's marginally worse, but, like, their Risen Reef already drew them a card. I hate how they are changing the packs for the next set so much that I'm done with Paper Magic. What are they changing? For someone who doesn't keep up, what are they changing? When will we see an Overwatch stream? We might do one at some point this week. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling after the next couple days of... We'll see what the viewer numbers are like for the next couple days. I might end Standard a little bit early, just like do 3 decks and play an actual video game at the end. This is kind of a low hype time for Magic Standard format. Normal packs aren't changing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Hydroid Krasis would be great. Another Risen Reef would be great, honestly, because it would let us draw 2. Risen Reef is like Divination Plus at this point. Nissa would be great. Normal packs to become draft packs, which will have a less chance of getting mythics. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, do you have a source on that? I hadn't heard that. I feel like if that was true, more people would be upset. Can you cite a source for us? That feels really inflammatory if true, so I'd appreciate you citing an actual source. Free attack. Not if they have growth spiral, right? And getting in 1 point of damage isn't worth potentially losing my thing to a growth spiral. Alright, time to finally pull the trigger on this. Second verse, same as the first, a little bit louder and a whole lot worse. Oh no! It really was second verse, same as the first again, chat. I would like one of your finest Hydroid Krasis, please. You know, I like ramp decks a lot less when my lands don't make 2/2s in the late game. Ramp decks are way better when my lands make 2/2s. Throne of Elandra will feature collector booster packs, pricing range of 20 to 25 depending on the regions. Collector boosters will contain extended art cards. Unlike previous booster packs, the collector boosters will have a limited print run. Sure, but that's an extra. That's a new thing. That's not the same as taking anyone, in my opinion, anyone who is upset that they are offering collector booster packs is an idiot and just looking for something to complain about. An extra optional thing that you are in no way obligated or required to have to play the game that can generate Wizards revenue is a good thing for the game. In my opinion, you should be happy that they are offering these premium products that are completely optional because they can make their money on a premium product like that, causing them to not need to get better profit margins on the base product. But I'm just a guy who plays video games for money on the internet, so what do I know? Rude. Alright, my opponent missed a land drop, so let's play a 4/5. Now, their hand does have a bunch of spells in it, so I wouldn't be surprised if this just eats like a removal spell here. Roadkill, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I appreciate the continued support. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Son of Sam, checking in with that brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Thanks for your Bezo bucks this way. Like I said, I would assume this matchup is hard for our deck, but the fact that my opponent stumbled here is a big deal for us. We have a pretty aggressive start as well. Now, it does expose us. Well, we're exposed to Legion's End either way, Dumping Truck. Legion's End takes the cards out of our hand. Legion's End reveals your hand and takes those two. I can appreciate that cast down. I can appreciate that cast down. It's a quality cast down. Look at this incredibly playable card, Herald of the Sun. What a great card. You know what I want to know? This is what I would like to know, chat. Who picks which cards get borderless art and which ones don't? Because why is Herald of the Sun have a borderless option, but my Boreal Grazer is still ugly? That's what I would like to know. Why are the cards we make borderless not just all the constructed staples as a priority? Why is that not how it works? Quick Trick, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. How are we doing today, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you are in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream Magic full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing different things 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. I play a ton of different decks here. And we change decks every 60 minutes to 2 hours, so I always get a lot of variety in what I stream every day. As always, I'd love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day and out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors really quick. The Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental string arrangements of everything from Zelda to Zeppelin, and they would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on services such as Spotify and Apple Music. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they already have on their website. Owl Knight, thanks for checking back in and for the very generous tier 2 at that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Whoa Duels is the peer-to-peer wagering platform where you can challenge other arena players for money. You get some free coins just for signing up on an account, and they also run daily free events as well as monthly giveaways, and of course,
don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
For those of you that missed it, we have a dab emote now, so feel free to spam some dabs when the Vegetable Man dabs. Got it. Had my graphics guy work that up over the weekend. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of that one. Feel like we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of that one. In fact, that just reminded me that I needed to message him and pay him. I was like, I didn't give him dollary dues yet. Always pay people for their work, chat. Thanks, Dirty Digits. It seems like draft boosters are just the name they're applying to actual booster packs. They've never had a name before, and now it does. Then they're adding theme boosters and collector boosters. Sure. So the draft boosters are just normal stock boosters with no changes then, right? I found the dabbing man very convincing. Thanks for the 9 months, Lucas. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So I'm only going to have time to play like 1 or 2 more matches with this deck, most likely. And this deck almost certainly has a Rancid Feather matchup, so I'm actually just going to go to the next one so we have enough time to play through. These ramp decks just get devoured. They don't have enough meaningful interaction. Want to say hi since I just played against you. I'm testing out your deck. After watching you this past weekend, I never thought I'd play against the master himself. Good games and keep up the great work. I appreciate you closing out the stream and thanks for the biddies, Mike. Hope your testing goes well. Good luck in the rest of your league. We usually get in about 4 matches with decks, so I'd like to skip over one that's likely gonna showcase us just getting run over and move on to one that's gonna be a little bit more meaningful, hopefully. This hand's great. We get to bottom Hallowed Fountain here. Elf on 1 into Refund 2. Get our ramp on. Maybe hit a land with this and get our Watcher on 4. Alright, Mr. Reef, 1 land, please. Tilt. As a web dev, if I had $1 for every exposure gig I was offered and took, I'd still have $0 because exposure doesn't pay my bills. Yep. Yep. Especially, like, as someone who's basically an artist myself, like, it gets super hypocritical when people who are, like, looking to get paid for the creative work that they do ask other creatives to work for free. Not that being hypocritical ever stopped many people from doing things. Bedevil. Narset. Oh no. My Hydroid Krasis is dead. When did being a cam girl become art? It's performance art. Thank you very much. Kind of like how I never understood unpaid internships. All right, I'm going to tell you the deep, dark secret about capitalism and unpaid internships. Unpaid internships exist to keep job opportunities largely out of the hands of people who can't afford to take them. There's also part of it because companies are cheap, but another part of it is because by making it unpaid, only people who come from a place of privilege are able to take those jobs and get that experience then. It's class separation. Yeah. So, if they kill my Hydra, I get to kill their Thief of Sanity, so fair's fair. Yeah, I killed the Narset because there's 4 Hydroid Krasis in my deck. So killing the Narset while I could is very important. Opponent apparently doesn't know what the Vicious Watcher does. So they played the Bedevil before attacking. Huh? I think I'm just doing this. This is gonna die regardless. I'm only gonna play it for 4. And nope, I clicked the wrong thing. I wanted to fight this as a 4/5 because this is getting bedeviled regardless. Clicked the wrong thing. We're gonna die to this 4/4. Yikes. Yep, yep. Krasis is our catch-up card, which is the reason why I prioritized killing their Narset earlier. I'm gonna block here because this way if they cast Cry this turn, their 4/4 dies. Vomit. This is actually a really good draw. Because when this dies, I get my reef back. Don't fear the reefer, chat. I have a few openings for more minions.
Conceivable. Witness a mote of my power.
Hey, one of your finest Krasis, please. We're dead here. Even if I had killed the 4/4 there, I don't think we're winning that game. Yeah, a number of cards that are okay in this matchup, though. Seems like we're probably going to be pretty okay post-board. I think I'm going to trim Leafkin Druid. I definitely want to trim a mana creature. Do I cut actually, I'm going to cut Paradise Druid, even though the fixing for the mass manipulation is nice, because this doesn't die to Cry or Moment of Craving. This gets to activate before it dies to Moment, but I think I'd rather have Llanowar Elves over Paradise. Ha! Nice. There's nothing banned from aristocrats in that event. That's pretty great. I mean, I think the aristocrats deck is like competitive in normal standards, so like when you take good cards away from all the other good decks, it probably gets even better. Well, I don't stand for the entire stream, but I usually stand for about half of it. My desk goes up and down, so I usually spend about 50% sitting, 50% standing. Vomit. I mean, to be fair, if all those cards were banned in normal standard, other things would come to the front that would be annoying as well. All right, let's try one more here before we roll on to the next one. Last match was a little quick. You'd like to do at least 4. Thought Erasure is really good against these traditional ramp decks because again, you're not making creatures with your land drops, so when they take your threats away, you don't have that high of a threat density. All right, we're on the draw with the Scry. Let's do it. Oh no. "26 lands later, chat. 26 lands later. Our Hydras have turned against us, chat. I thought they loved us, but little did we know, they do not. I'm gonna trim some of the card advantage, leave these heavier hitters at the top, bring in some Baffling Ends. Oh, Tolsimir is probably pretty okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I should probably have Tolsimir in my deck. I forgot we had a Hydroid Krasis emote. Gosh, we could probably replace that one with something else too if we have a good idea. I honestly can't believe they made that card not relevant. I thought for sure we were going to have Krasis everywhere until it rotated. This takes a mana activate, so we'll go ahead and just take that now. I think I want to just develop my mana a little bit more here before I jam this Hydra, because this Hydra's like my last resource here, basically.
I have survived Nico Bolas, and I will survive you. Watch out, they bite.
Yeah, I agree with the assessment of people hoping Teferi becomes not good enough. Don't understand why it's really good. 3 mana Teferi isn't a card that's too good on a raw power level. 3 mana Teferi is a card that just the way in which it's the worst it could possibly, how good it is even when it's the worst possible is what makes it so crucial and good. Like, even when Teferi is the worst it could possibly be, it's still very good because it bought you some tempo and it drew a card. I guess sometimes it just draws a card, but even of your opponent having to attack, it buys you tempo. It's miserable disruption with a high floor is exactly correct. Alright, so I'm gonna grab this one, and then I'm gonna have my Hydra smack her. I think...
Back to the woods.
Oh! Yeah, we should make the pair of emotes. I want to do it. I'm going to do that. I want an NSFW emote and then an OTC as a second emote. So you could pair them together. So you have a just NSFW emote, but then together they combine their powers. I forgot. I'm going to make a note about that. I'll write it out in chat for people that don't get it. It's easy when you see it all written out. I was just about to say we've not been good at drawing Krasis, but there's my boy. Kind of punished for throwing the Paradise Druids away, but that's fine. We drew a Nissa here too, so that's great. And by that I mean we're dead. Are we exactly dead? We're exactly dead. Yikes. Yeah, we got punished that game for holding on to the Leafkin too. That's a good observation. Hey, Turkin, thanks for the 17. I appreciate it. Welcome back. All in all, I feel like those games kind of highlighted why this more traditional ramp style deck has really fallen out of the standard format. I think the Field of the Dead decks tend to go over the top of what this deck is doing a little bit. And past that, Hydroid Krasis as a payoff just gets a lot worse in a format where Narset is a Planeswalker. So, I think compared to some of the other things, and not even just Field of the Dead, but like Think about the quasi-duplicate deck we played earlier today that had a list similar that did well in the MCQs this weekend. So the Nexus of Fate ramp decks also kind of go over the top of what this deck is doing too. So there's just too many things in the format where like what this deck is doing with Archetype is doing with big Hydras just isn't good enough anymore.